Hey YouTubers, it is Off-Centered Potter coming at you the day after the 4th of July, Sunday, July 5th, 2009. And today we're going to talk a little bit about slip trailing, which has been my new favorite thing to do. I've got some finished pieces here that I've already done slip trailing on, and I'm going to show you those, and then I'm also going to show you some works in progress and how I'm doing that. This bowl is Raku. It's got kind of a copper penny glaze on the top, nothing on the bottom. You can see the slip trailing going on right here, and then I just kind of sprinkle with my hand a different glaze, and that came out pretty cool, I think. Here is a picture of that piece so you can see it just a little bit better. Okay, so here's another piece I have that I've done slip trailing on, and I've done two different versions of this. First of all, if you look closely, and I don't have that great of a camera, so I don't know if it'll pick it up, but you can see the slip trails underneath the glaze, and then you can also see these on top of the glaze. I love how that slip kind of broke up a little bit and made that neat, really interesting looking surface treatment. Now, for some of you, this funky kind of pot may not be your style. You may like the traditional stuff a little bit better, but even if you throw the traditional stuff, you can still do these unique surface treatments on them with the slip. This is a Raku piece that I put some slip on, and you can see the slip trails there. The piece has no glaze on it, but the slip trails, because they're a different clay body, create a contrasting color from the clay body of the piece. Here's a close-up of that piece, and here is a close-up of the other piece that I was showing you earlier. What I did is I bought low fire slip. I just bought it at the store. Now I'm putting that slip onto high fire clay, and what this does is it gives me several different options. If I'm going to Raku it and I'm going to low fire Raku, then there's no shrinkage problems, there's no cracking problem, nothing. There's no problems with it because even though it's on a high fire clay, it's still in a low fire environment. Same way if I just use like low fire glazes. Interestingly, when I high fire the low fire slip, it tolerates pretty well, but sometimes it breaks up like this one, and it bubbles a little bit, and that's alright with me. I actually like that effect. It just makes for an interesting surface treatment. But you also want to be careful, blah blah blah. If you put too much on, and the clay does run, then it can get on your kiln shelf, yada yada yada. I know a rigid out there will say that I'm breaking the rules by high firing a low fire clay, but I don't really care because I like the way it looks when I'm done. So if you don't want to deal with that issue, you can always buy high fire slip, or you can you make gallons of slip by throwing. Just save some of your really fine, well sieved slip and use that, and you can just have the slip match the clay body. So I think it's just kind of whatever you want. But here's a piece I'm working on, putting some of that slip trailing on. Here's a piece that I've already done some slip trailing on. Just a real simple little design. And what is interesting is I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know if I'm going to Raku it, if I'm going to high fire, if I'm going to low fire it. But regardless of what I do, the slip will do different things. If I high fire it, it might crackle and break a bit. If I low fire it, it'll just have a different color and variation of glaze than what's on the actual body. If you Raku it, with Raku you never know what you're going to get. So this is a piece that I've started already putting some slip on, and I've got it in two bottles. I have this bottle, which is just a ketchup and mustard bottle that you can buy at the store, and then I have this little bottle that you can buy at craft shops and ceramic shops. It's the kind that has the needle tip. So, this is really easy. All I'm going to do is I like this design that's uncontrolled. I'm trying to kind of go, or I was working for going towards making it look like the slip trail had been wrapped around the piece. So I'm just going to put out some slip. So I just do that, and if you're not careful, before it dries, it will run. And sometimes that look is cool. You know, you can go for that if you want. But I want this to be a little bit more controlled than that. You know, obviously I'm not trying to get a straight line. I want it to be kind of messed up. But I was going to show you some other things here besides this. Also, if I wanted to do something more detailed, I could use this tool, which actually I think I'll use on another one of these. I'll just show you. These are little tea bowls that I made. Okay, so and then if I'm using if I want to use the smaller tip, you know, I can do that too, and can just draw some lines. You know, here I might just do like a band across the top of this little tea bowl. And again, you know, you can be much more precise as well. You know, draw the line straighter. You could even dip your slip in a paintbrush and put it on your wheel and do bands and things like that. I'm intentionally not making these things perfect. I don't want them to be perfect. It's just part of the design that I would like to have. So, you know, I can use this littler bottle to make a smaller line. Again, the possibilities are endless. It just depends on your style. You may not like my style, but you can do it in a way that you like it. Another fun way to, or something that you can do, is if you just put the slip on, like just put it on, and even just rub it, you know, with your finger, like this, okay? And layer that a little bit, you know, like stuff like this. If you do that all the way around the pot, it will just create different levels of surface, which are really interesting in raku. It helps pick up different types of, or different pieces of glaze, and helps the glaze to cut. You know, it just makes kind of an interesting finish. And like I'm showing you here, it's so easy. Of course, you could just do this with clay right out of the bucket, you know, that you've thrown with. Also, you don't have to go, you know, buy slip or get a bottle of slip. Of course, you can also put the slip on and just let it run. You know, you get interesting things doing that. You can put it on. You know, and do that kind of stuff with it. I don't know if you remember, when you were a little kid, did you make those little paintings in art where you put paint on paper and blew it with a straw, you know? So you can do kind of that little design like that. It's kind of interesting. You can, once you have the slip on, you can take tools and scrape it off, and do so very rigidly, so you can finish pieces that way. Just the possibilities are endless. So save yourself some slip from your throw buckets, or go to the store and buy yourself some and have fun with it. You can do lots of interesting things. Post a video as a response to this one and show me what interesting fun things you've done with slip. If you get on YouTube or look on the web, you'll find some artists that use slip trailing, and they have way more patience than I do, because some of their things are just absolutely beautiful with these very intricate designs. And if that's your style, you can do that too. So drop me a line, show me a video, and at very least post a comment. Let me know what you think. Have a good day, YouTubers. Adios.